Last weekend, I was lucky enough to be casting the Bandai Card Game Fest, and that included doing some One Piece Nationals casting, but also getting a look at the Gundam Assemble miniature game. Now, I also casted the Gundam Card Game show match, and there's a little bit of connectedness that we'll talk about going in there, but I really wanted to take a second and talk about Gundam Assemble because I've been a miniature painter for a long time. I've entered and won multiple miniature painting contests in Warhammer, so I love minis, I love painting them. They're beautiful little 3D canvases, and I'm really excited to get a chance to do that in the Gundam universe. On a basic level, Gundam Assemble is essentially little miniatures. I would say they're bigger than your average, D&D Warhammer miniatures, and apparently we're going to get a tabletop game with this, although we don't know any of the rules yet. We can glean, though, rules-wise, that it will have something to do with hex-based movement. It's also important to note that some models have multiple hexes that they rest on. White Base seems to need 3, Unicorn Gundam and Shinanju need 2, so there will be size, I think, coming into play here. So I'm really curious what the rules are going to be for this tabletop game. On the website, they show a certain amount of miniatures, but on the ground there at the venue, they actually had a lot of miniatures that they haven't really shown off that much yet. So here's a couple of Tallgeese. They have the Zong, I believe that wasn't shown as well, and you might be able to spot a couple other ones that haven't popped up in some of the official advertising. You can see that it appears that the models come on maybe 1 or 2 sprues total. Look very easy to pop out. It doesn't look like there's any gluing involved. It looks like it's all snap fit from what I can see here. I got a chance during the Gundam Assemble program with Gundam Card Game development producer Hirito Nashimoto. I got to hold the RX-78 Mini, and it was painted, I would say, fairly well. I think I could do better, but I'll hopefully get my chance a little bit later. For the Gundam card game, it looks like the interaction that they're advertising here is that you can set your mini on top of the corresponding card, which, there looks like there's, as far as I know, there's no rules interaction between the minis and the card game, which I think is a good thing. I don't want to see a crossover per se like that. I think it's good to keep your card games and your miniature games. So I think it's a cool thing to, be able to say, hey, I'm playing the RX-78-2. Here's my RX-78-2 mini on top of the card to represent it in sort of 3-dimensional space. That's fun. I think it opens up opportunities to do little painting contests along with card game tournaments and things. It is cool, too, that we got teased a little bit that there's going to actually be a deck box that holds cards, dice, and then also has a space for a mini, too, which is really unique and really cool. They also announced that the 4 initial starter decks for the card game are going to include versions of those starter decks that include a mini that matches that deck too. So they really are trying to push these 2 products together, which I find is interesting considering, again, there's no rules overlap, but I do like both worlds. I like the card gaming world and the miniature painting world, so I was extremely hyped to see these all come together. That's everything we know so far about Gundam Assemble. I'm going to definitely be posting more information as the rules come out, and hopefully, before too long, getting a chance to get my hands on some of these minis, maybe do some painting streams, maybe talk a little bit more about getting into the game a little bit. Either way, it's exciting enough to know that there's a Gundam card game coming, and so now that we've got this mini game version of the Gundam universe coming out too, 2025 is just going to be the year of Gundam apparently, and I'm all for it. So thanks for watching, everybody. See you again soon.